Good morning, everyone. This is Ida with Creative to Create. It turns out, guys, that I'm going to have to angel for group 7. So I started working on my tags yesterday. Even though I do have some that are already done, I usually only make one tag of whatever tag I'm making. I only make the one. So no matter what I decide to go with, I still had to make several others. So I just decided to just do a new one completely that you guys haven't seen. So this is what I came up with. And I had this paper from last year. And I don't remember who it's from. Let me see. I have it right here. The paper is Die Cuts with a View, and it's called the Winter Wood Stack, and I'll show it to you really quick. It's this one, guys, and I've had it for I bought it last year, and I didn't use it hardly, so it's still full. And it had this sheet in it that had like the wood, distressed wood, with the whitewash and that like robin's egg blue, which is more like a blue-green. And I love that paper, and I thought I'm going to use that as my background because you guys remember that I hauled these berries recently and I wanted to use those. So I decided to go ahead and use them on this tag. And I forgot to grab one thing, you guys. Hold on really quick because we're going to make a tag. We're going to make a tag, guys, because right now that I'm hosting this swap, it was a shaped, either a shaped tag or a dimensional tag, and I did want the tags to be sturdy. And sometimes, you know, what we may consider sturdy, it's not sturdy to others, and I kind of like to make sure that when I gift my tags to somebody that they are sturdy. And if they put them on a gift bag, or they put them on use it as, you know, a part of a card, or just a regular gift that they put under the tree, that it's not going to get crushed because my tag was too flimsy. So I always try to make my work in a way that will last and is sturdy. So that being said, even though my tag is not real thick, as you can see, it is very sturdy. And the reason for that, you guys, is because I layered a piece of lightweight chipboard in between 2 layers of paper. So I am going to show you my tag first, and then I'm going to do a process video on how I make my tags sturdy and how I make them dimensional. When I'm talking about dimension, I like a lot of dimension in my projects. So this is what I'm talking about when I talk about dimension, where my tag is not flat. So, and it's got little things that are poking out, you know, sticking out, and just different elements like that. But it's by no means a thin tag. It is pretty dimensional. So I'm going to show you what I did to this one. I cut this little piece from the little wreath that I shared with you guys, which is this one that I picked up at AC Moore. And actually, the die back here that I used is this shape right here. And that was a gift from my friend Carolyn. And so was the sentiment was on the same die set. Look at how beautiful that is in that green blue, robin's egg color, and the metallic silver behind it. And then this snowflake right here and the one on the bow are the snowflakes that I picked up from Hobby Lobby, you guys. And that was the table scatter that I had picked up. Look at how pretty they are. And of course, when I saw them, I thought, those are embellishments. What are they talking about, table scatter? Those are embellishments. So I added those to my tags. And then, of course, I added the flat back pearls from that box that we all hauled from Michael's that had different colors of pearlized flat back pearls. So that's what I dotted the snowflakes with in the center. And even this one didn't have anything in the center, and I added another one of those flat back pearls here in a smaller size. And then back here, I don't know if you can see it, but there is a pine needle branch. See, you can probably see it right there, that Miss Jacqueline had gifted me. That she gifted me the die, so I'm able to cut my own in any color that I like. And this mesh right here came from the swap I'm just hosting. Somebody had it on as a topper or something, and it had come off, and it was sitting on my table. And I always tell you guys, I don't waste anything. And right here, I'm showing you a good example that I'm not just talking. I really don't waste anything. And then, of course, this little piece of ribbon was from some package or something, because I only have a little strip of it somewhere. I forgot to grab ribbon because I wanted to share this with you guys. But I have other gray ribbon. So I have to make 3 tags, guys. And this was my first one. The little reindeer right here came from the... I've got my dies right here in a bin. That way I could share them with you. My little reindeer came from the haul that I did from Tuesday morning, the Tonic Studio, and I love this die set, you guys. I hadn't played with it yet till last night, yesterday after church, and this, I used the smallest one right here. So that's one of the dies that I used. Another one that I use is by Marion Crafts, and this is the Marion Designs, and it's the big curved bottom tag, and it does come in a set like this with all these other little tags here. So that's another one that I use. And then this is the one that my friend Carolyn gifted me just the other day when she sent me in her swap, and I shared this already, and this is where the Merry Magical Christmas comes from. So from this set, and I think those are all the dies that I used. Yeah, I think those are all the dies that I did use from this. So let me put my my things away and set them right here by the floor. So if I need them, they're right here. So and that's how I created this, guys. I cut this in. I tried to stick with all just the blue, the white, the gray, the silver, any type of silver, whether it was foiled or glitter, and the clear. So those were the colors I was sticking with. As you can see, there's not very much color in it, just a little bit of the blue, and everything else is clear and frost and glittery and foil. And that's what I did, guys. And I love the way the tag came out. And then as a hanging element, I used the ribbon that I shared, that I had picked up, the silver and white, because I wanted to use it as a hanging element on a tag. And then here's the back, guys. All I did to the back is I embossed it. This is from the same paper pad, and I love this color combination, the white and this robin's egg color. And it's like a blue-green. And I used a 3D embossing folder. Look at those leaves right there, you guys, the embossing. I love, love, love to emboss the back of my tags. 9 times out of 10, when you get a tag from me, it's going to be embossed in the back, because even though you don't do much to the back, that makes a big statement. Or for me, it does. When somebody sees this tag, they're going to know that this is a special tag. I just didn't pick just any old tag, that I put some effort into this tag, and hopefully they will save it and reuse it on something else, whether it be another gift or on a card, or, you know, recycle it in some way. And the only thing I'm going to add to here that I haven't added is another tag that has my to and from. That way this tag can be reused again next year if the recipients want to. Now, like I said, I'm angeling for group 7 because of one of the ladies was ill, and I haven't received her swap. And I'm just preparing myself in case that I don't receive it. Regardless, if her swap comes in before I record the video, I will definitely put her swap in, but the ladies will still receive my tag. So this is going to be a bonus in case the original participant if I get her tags in, if I get her swap in. If not, you guys will get this. If hers comes in, you will get hers plus this one, the ones I create. This one and another one, because I'm going to create a complete swap. So here it is, guys. And that's all I did, pretty much. Not much of anything, but it looks like you did a lot. Although when you're die cutting, it does take some time. So I'm going to set this one aside, and I'm going to show you my process for making this tag. And of course, I used a holographic silver eyelash trim right here. I think it's so pretty. And I dotted the eye. I mean the deer's eye with a crystal. And that's pretty much all I did to the tag. I didn't do too much of nothing. The sentiment just says Magical Christmas, but I think it was perfect. So I want to show you how I create that, guys. And I already have all my stuff pre-cut. I did that last night before I went to bed because I wanted to make sure that my stuff was ready to go so I could finish up my swap and hopefully record group 7 because I know it's dragged on long enough. So this is one I already had prepared, and I was thinking that I only had to make for 2 people, and of course that I was the 3rd one in the group, but no, it's in groups of 4. So I had to go back to the drawing board because I didn't have the same things of something, but it's going to be very similar, guys. I'm going to improvise here and there, but not really. So anyway, this is one I had already prepared. I had already embossed. This gives you a better idea of what the paper looks like without anything on it. And then there is the back. And again, even though it's not real thick, it's very sturdy. So I'm going to show you, share the process with you on how I make my tags sturdy. And I'm going to just move these aside because I already have them ready. So this is how I do it, guys. I cut out one of the tags as my front. I decide what I want for the front, and I decide what I want for the back. This is the one I use for the back because I didn't have any more of the other one, but this was in the same paper pad, the same colors, so I used this one. Look at the beautiful embossing. Is that pretty or what? That is so pretty. So this is going to be the back. Now, one of the ladies sent her swap in, and she had included these like thin chipboard, like a box. She had cut out the box and just used the flat part for security so it wouldn't damage her tags. And I don't, like I said, I don't waste anything, guys. So I cut out my center of my tag with this chipboard, thin chipboard that she had included in her package. So I'm going to glue the front to my tag. And I usually, guys, when I'm doing something thicker, I use the Scotch glue. I don't need the really fine tip right here because it's not really fine detail work. So there's one. That's going to be the front of my tag. And I'm going to just kind of tap it and straighten it up. Like if I'm straightening a stack of papers. And there's the front of my tag. Hopefully I won't get glue everywhere. Okay. The back of the tag, especially when I emboss it, you guys, I use wet glue. In this instance, I'm going to use the Beacon 3-in-1 because this has very deep indents where it's 3D embossed. Like it's got little crevices where all the designs are. So for this, if I were to put just regular glue, some of it would stick and some of it wouldn't. So I'm going to use the Beacon. I use the Beacon 3-in-1 a lot, guys. So I'm going to use this around the perimeter of my tag. It can still be moved around, but I know it's going to adhere well. And I'm going to go all around the edge, making sure especially to get the edges. And then I'm going to add in the bottom of my tag, in the center of the back of the tag. I'm going to add some more. And I'm going to add plenty, guys, because what I like about this beacon, when I use it on paper, the paper doesn't warp. So that's what I like about it. And I'm going to adhere this to the back of my tag. I'm going to pick it up just like I did the front, and I'm going to line it up. And it still gives you enough room to move around a little bit. And when you emboss it, it tends to shrink it a little bit. So you got to kind of make sure that you line it up as well as possible so you won't be able to see the edges too bad. Yeah, I can see it a little bit here. See, I don't like the way that shows. Now, if we want to camouflage that for it not to show, we can go with it over that with a those ink, the you know, the metallic gold leafing pens. You can do that on here. I think my silver one is empty, but let's see. Let's see really quick, guys, because I want to do good work. So, you know, when you want to do good work, of course, you're going to go the extra mile and make sure that you didn't skimp in any area. This is what I'm talking about, the Deco Color pen, and it's a gold leafing pen. And I'm going to go over this. I don't necessarily need it in the front because in the front you really can't see anything. But right here in the back where you can see the chipboard, you can see what was printed on it. So I want to camouflage that. I don't want you to see that. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to edge my tag. And it leaves a very pretty metallic silver edge to your paper, whatever you're working on, but you do have to kind of take your time to do it. And I don't have to go line the whole paper all the way around, although if I wanted to, it would look pretty. But I just want to pretty much just cover up the chipboard and give it that hints of that metallic foil silver as well. I think this one has seen better days, you guys. It's not really coming out. And I really, like I said, I just want to cover the chipboard because you can see what's, you know, the printed edge. If it were just a color that coordinated, it wouldn't matter. But because it's got the print on it, it does matter, or it matters to me. I'll probably go over this afterwards. And this is more for just showing you how to tackle. See how now you see the silver and not the what's going on in the chipboard. So I'm going to move this aside, and I probably am going to come back to this and add some more in. Not necessarily the front. The front looks pretty good because I didn't emboss it. But when you emboss it, it does tend to draw the paper up. So it's shorter than what it normally was because it drew it up. So that's what the only time you need to worry about that. So I recommend probably that you would edge the chipboard piece before you put this piece on top. That way you don't have to worry about doing afterwards. And if it shows, the only thing that will show is silver. So that's probably what I'm going to do next time. Anyway, here's my tag, you guys. So let's get started. All I did really is I decided where I wanted this this die cut of the ornament. And look at how pretty that paper is. I think I picked this up at Tuesday morning, guys. And it was a pretty good size pack for not very much money. And all I did was add a piece of foam. I usually use the foamy sheets in the back. So, and I use the beacon. So I'm going to set that down. Hopefully I can do this without my phone deciding it wants to do 2 parts versus 1. And like I said, I like to use this because my paper doesn't warp. And you know, guys, when you first do your tags and you add glue, they do tend to warp. They do tend to warp some. So make sure that you straighten your tag out. This one looks pretty good. And it might be because I used the beacon, so it really didn't warp. But sometimes when you use just all wet glue, it will warp. And you want to straighten your tag out. So I'm going to add this right here in the center. And I'm sorry for the shadow, but as you guys know, my lamp has been giving me problems. And I had to get another lamp. So before I really make up my mind, I'm going to get my Magical Christmas and make sure that I place the ornament high enough that it's not going to interfere with my sentiment. Yeah, that looks pretty good. This is going to go here. Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and just take, I did use the dimensional tape in the back, and the reindeer is 2 layers. I cut it in the metallic silver and in the white because I wanted to stay all in that frosty look. So let's adhere this one to the ornament. And just to let you know, I did get in all the swaps for group 3 because I had an angel. My friend Nisha angeled for me, and I did get her package in the mail. So today, probably late in the afternoon, if not tonight, group 3 is going to be up, God willing. So now I'm going to adhere the Magical Christmas. Again, I cut it out, the silhouette in the metallic foil, and then the magical in the little scraps that were left from the tags that I cut, so it would match in that green, robin's egg blue. And I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to set this down right here. What I consider to be straight. I might be off, but, and then again this one, all on dimensions. Now, because this foam tape is a little bit thicker than the foam sheet that I used on the ornament, you're going to have different layers, and I like that. So I'm going to place this one about right there. Yep, that looks pretty good. See how fast our tag is coming together? Now, I did add a little piece of that holographic eyelash trim, which is this one, guys. So I'm just going to cut a little piece off, if I can find the end. Here. If I can find the end to it. I think I can. Whoops. It's so pretty. Here it is. Okay, let me move that out of the way. Look at how pretty this is, guys. Oh, that's not the end. I thought that was the end, guys. I need to find, like, it usually does have an inside piece that is the end, but I haven't been able to find it. So I have a mess going on. Do I? Oh, no, I found it. I found it, guys. It's so pretty. Yeah. Look at how pretty that is. I hope it's coming up on camera how pretty it is. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a little piece. And I'm going to adhere it here. And I'm going to use my hot glue gun to kind of tack it down in the areas that I want it. So there and there. So I'm going to add just a little dab of glue right here in the corner, guys. Not much, because it's not going to move. And just kind of curl it around that. And I'm going to do the same thing right here in this corners to tack it down as well, right there and right there. And I hope that I am in frame. That's not going to move from there. And the last area that I'm going to put tape is going to be at this corner. I mean, not tape, but glue. So when I put that little eyelash trim there, it's going to get caught up there. And it's not going anywhere, you guys. I just kind of wanted it peeking out from there. Look at how pretty that looks. Let's move these little things. Okay, yeah, I'm going to have to tack this down a little bit more right here. So I'm going to add a dab of glue right here, guys. And this is really hot, so make sure that you use something to kind of hold it in place where you're not going to burn yourself. Because I want to tuck it in. The glue came off of over here. So it's just tucked in here, guys. Look at how pretty that looks. And the next step we're going to do, we're going to add I'm going to add the little piece of the snowflake that I want here. Here are those acrylic snowflakes that I told you about. Now I'm just going to adhere it with the Beacon 3-in-1. I'm not going to use hot glue because this kind of sets pretty quick too. And I'll add some of this, and I am going to add hot glue, but mostly this. So there's that. And a little bit of hot glue so it'll hold it right away. And that's all I got to do right here. And set the snowflake down. There it is. And now I'm going to get one of these little branches, and I need to make sure that I got everything out of the little cuts, because sometimes it'll come out of the die, and I'm sorry that I have my hand in the way, but I need to be where the light is so I can see what I'm doing. I know people get mad at me when I work that way, but I have to be able to see. If I can't see, then everything's going to be bad. Okay. So I'm just picking out what didn't come out of my die cut. My die cut. There's little bitty pieces that just didn't come out. So I'm getting those out where you can see all the open work in this beautiful die that Miss Jacqueline gifted me. And if you guys haven't seen, I did send her some Happy Mail. And if you want to see what I sent her, she's Metallark001 here on YouTube. And she did, Miss Jacqueline hasn't recorded in quite a while, but she did honor me by recording what I sent her. Thank you, Miss Jacqueline. I'm so happy that you like what I sent you, and thank you for honoring me in that way. Not that I deserve the honor, because honor and the glory goes to the Lord, but I know that you, in that way, you're showing your appreciation, and I was so happy to do it, and I had fun doing it. So here's the little branch, guys, that I'm going to add to the top of my tag. I have a little piece right there. So see, now it's all open, because before when I showed it to you, everything wasn't open because it still had the little pieces in there. Now this piece, I'm just going to adhere it right up here. Now originally on the other tag, I did have a bow right there on top of the, listen to Abby, on top of the, hold on, guys. Really quick. Really quick. Y'all hear Abby calling her mutt? Do y'all hear her? I'm recording. So, so we're going to add this to the top right here, you guys. And I'm just going to add like a little bit of glue. Ooh, I forgot to put the lid back on my glue. I hope it didn't dry on there. I still see some stuff that didn't come out. When you turn it to the back, that's when you can really see. So let's adhere this. And I'm going to use my fine tip glue and just add little bits here and there. She's mad at her puppy. She brings her dog over here, guys, so I can babysit the dog like if the puppy is human. I know there's a lot of dog lovers out there that treat their pets like if they're humans. My husband is one of them. My daughter's another one. And I do like pets, but I don't baby them like that. I try not to get attached to them because when something happens, yeah, I wouldn't like that. Y'all hear her. So I'm going to set this down right here, you guys. And you see that we're building, but I'm trying not to cover my my reindeer. Even though this branch is on top of that, I don't want to cover my reindeer. So we set that down right there. Let me put my little tip back in my glue because I don't want it to dry out. I really need to get more glue. I see that I'm running low on my art glitter glue. Listen to Pearl. Y'all hear her? She thinks she owns the house. So there's this. That's what we have so far, you guys. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a piece off of this berry bush that I picked up at AC Moore. And I want to get one that has the snowflake in it. So I'm just going to grab it like here close to the bottom because I don't want nothing to come apart. And I'm just going to pull, guys. And when I have a little section pulled off, I'm just going to go in there with my wire cutters and snip it off. That's all I have to do there. Let me put it in my bin. And what I like to do to these kind of got separated. See where I did that? So I'm going to try and twist them so they don't come undone. I want them to stay together until I glue them. What I normally do with these, I kind of curve them in towards, like I want them to curve around that ornament. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to curve it in towards the ornament. See how the branches are kind of curving in? That's all I want to do. There's the snowflake. And this is going to be, I'm going to tuck it right here under the reindeer's feet. And if I almost feel like it needs to curve more. So I'm going to do that. Yeah. I don't want to put it way on top because on top is where I'm going to add the bow. Oh, yeah, these came apart. I was trying for them not to come apart. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good right there, you guys. And let me straighten the snowflake out and position it in a better angle. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these out from where I tucked them in. Now I know where they need to go. And I'm going to add hot glue underneath the reindeer's feet. And maybe a little up here to kind of curve it a little bit. Because that's where our berry sprays are going to go. And there it is. I need another glue stick, guys. My glue gun is getting low on glue. And I am going to add some more glue on the bottom of these branches right here, just so the branches don't move. And you kind of want to try and put it where it's not real noticeable, you guys. Or that's what I tried to do. Just so the snowflake won't move. I'm going to add a little bit down here where the snowflake is going to lay so it won't move. Yeah, that's pretty. And now I can shape it some more if I want to.